Hi guys, today we'll be talking about team project on how to start working on team project, what team project includes, and how to get maximum grade on team project. Team project is a 1 month long project where you'll be working in teams. Teams were already assigned in Canvas, so everyone should be a member of one team. If you guys don't see your team assignment, don't know what team you belong to, you need to go to your Canvas and see team's discussion board. So if you can't find it, please reach out and I will let you know what team you're in. We have about 10, 12 teams per class, and each team has about 4 to 5 people. I created teams myself based on the academics and average grade. So each team has approximately the same average grade among all the team members. So let's start talking about team project, and I encourage you guys to start working on team project as soon as you can. I'm available for help as usual. You will have my contact information. So if you have any questions, please reach out anytime. Right. We're gonna start from the objectives. So as part of the team project, we're gonna apply all the concepts that you guys learned in class, starting from class 1, 2, and 3, where we learned about database systems in general. Then later, progressing into class 3 and 4, we talked about business rules, about what kind of business rules we have. Then further down, we created entity relationship diagram, logical design. We are currently working on SQL and advanced SQL. And further down in this class, we will be learning about indexes and about database connectivity. So this project will cover all of those topics. We also, as part of this team project, we are going to work on group learning experience. So for those of you who are struggling with certain part of the material, you guys will be able to work with your teammates and hopefully cover those gaps. Team project is a great experience. I have a lot of good feedback on this team project, and hopefully it will work out for you guys as well. Um, as part of the team project, you guys will also be applying very important project management concepts as implementing milestones, reaching milestones, and making sure that you guys are on track during the entire duration of the project. Some teams decide to select leads, other teams share lead responsibilities. Doesn't matter to me. It's all about you guys and how it works out for you. So, team projects requirements. Detailed requirement document is posted in Canvas. It's called MIS Rated Team Project Requirements.pdf. This document has all the requirements for a team project. It has all the details you guys need to know about team project. And at the end of this document, we have a list of topic selections. You can use any of those topics or your own topics that you're familiar with. Doesn't matter to me. I encourage you guys to start working on this document right now, reviewing it hopefully today, if not today, then tomorrow as a team, and that's your good starting point for the team project. Later on, after we talked about all the sections for a team project, I will show you a team project module in Canvas and explain what document contains what information and what it's needed for. But for now, the most important document for your team project is team project requirements document posted in Canvas. Team project will have 8 sections, and we're going to go through all of those sections in details. within the next couple of minutes. But here is just the list of all the sections for you to review. We're going to start from domain selections, then we will work on business rules. In section 3, we are going to create conceptual database design, which is entity relationship diagram. Further down, we progress to creating relational model and logical database design. In section 5, we will be implementing database. We will be creating DDLs and DMLs, and hopefully we remember that from 2 classes ago, DDL stands for data definition language, and DML stands for data manipulation language. In the next section, I will ask you to create 20 queries. We call the section reports. There is requirements on what you should have as part of your queries. Again, all the requirements are listed in the requirements document. In the next section, section 7, we will be working on indexes. So by then, you guys will already have queries, and indexes needs to be created based on those queries. We have not had a lecture on indexes yet, and that will be a lecture, that will be a material that we'll cover in about 2, 3 lectures. And in the last section, section 8, you will be creating database connectivity to your database that you created. And that would be, it can be a simple Python application that you guys can use my code for to write. It can be any other web-based dashboard. You can use Tableau if you want. It can be some kind of research project that you guys can start working on right now. But that's it. That's all I got for you. 8 sections, team project. So let's deep dive into each section and talk about details about each section. So section 1, domain selection. Here I would need you guys to select the topic. I strongly encourage you to select the topics that you're familiar with. Maybe some of you work in some coffee shops. Maybe some people work in car repair shops, car dealerships. Any domain, business domains that you're familiar with would be great here. So for example, if you worked in coffee shop, you understand coffee shop operations, you can easily design the database, but that applies to any potential job you have. So for example, if you're in sports, you can probably create SDSU sports teams database. Well, there's no limitations here. So you pick whatever works for you. And if no one has any ideas, I have sample list of topics at the end of the team project requirements document. So we're going to look at the requirements document in a little bit, but it has like about 100 topics for you to select. So hopefully one of them will work for you. And as part of deliverables for section 1, you will need to start writing the report. And in the report, in section 1, you need to explain what database you will be creating. And in section 1, 2, you will need to define the purpose of this database. That's all I got for section 1. Section 2, business rules. Business rules, self-explaining. So you need to create at least 10 business rules that you will use later on for creating your entity relationship diagrams. For business rules, you will need to refresh class 3 and class 4 material. We talked about what is business rule, what is good business rules, what is not good business rule. If you remember correctly from that class, business rules should be definitive enough. It must not provide any additional not needing information. Business rules must be unique and contain unique information within it. Some one, two, or three business rules can complement each other. And here we have an example. Employee must have one manager, and manager can manage many employees. So those two business rules complement each other. Again, like for business rules and all the information related to business rules, please refresh class 3 and class 4 material. Section 3, entity relationship diagram. You guys all know by now what it is. This is a material covered in class 4, 5, and 6. You must create entity relationship diagram as part of your team project. Entity relationship diagram must have at least 10 entities. You should be using crow's-foot notation. Again, that's a notation that we are using in this class. So please, no chain notation, please no UML, only crow's-foot. I will not accept any handwritten diagrams. You guys must use either Lucidchart or whatever tool you were using. And there's a lot of requirements on what your entity relationship diagram must have. And for example, entity relationship diagram must have one strong entity, one weak entity, one supertype with at least two subtypes. You must have many-to-many relationship. You must have one-to-many, unary, binary, and so forth. For more details on what kind of entities and relationship you must include in your entity relationship diagram, please refer to team project requirements document, section 3. Section 3 has two subsections. Section 3, 1 is entity relationship diagram, and section 3, 2 is entities descriptions. You can look at the sample report to see what put there. So again, section 3 is all about entity relationship diagram. Section 4 is your logical design. This section is based on class 7 of our materials that we covered before exam. You must create a logical design diagram as part of this section. So please no written relations with foreign keys and primary keys. You must have a diagram for this section. A little typo here. You guys must be creating those also using crow's-foot notation, but again, like notation is more applied to ERD. So like I said, no handwritten diagrams here. Also must use tool. If you are using a tool, you can use any tool of your choice. Section 5, create database. Here, you guys will be creating the actual database. You must include all DDLs and at least 10 DML statements for each table. And you must have at least 10 tables as part of your section 5, but probably you will end up more because some elements on your ERD will turn into more than one relation, a subsequently table. So this section has 3 parts. Section 5.1 is creating tables. So it's all data definition language, create table statements. You must include all the insert statements for all the tables, and each table must have at least 10 rows. As part of section 5.3, you will need to create 25 update statements. So here you will need to update any data you want. I just want to make sure that you guys understand how data updates work. A lot of examples in SQL module. Please look at those. There's a couple of lectures examples. There's couple of in-class exercises. So that should be enough for you guys to work on this section. And again, please look at the requirements on how your tables must look. Requirements are in the requirement document, but there's more requirements in grading criteria document. Section 6, reports. This section is based on SQL and advanced SQL class material. Reports are SQL queries, so as part of this section, you will need to create 20 reports. All queries must execute successfully. You also must provide screenshots for all the queries. And again, for the requirements, there is more details in the requirement document. Section 7. Section 7 material, which is database performance and tuning, will be covered in about 2 weeks. As part of this section, we will be creating indexes. Indexes allows us to improve query execution performance. So, for example, if your query executes, say, for a minute, by introducing indexes, you can cut down execution time almost 50%, sometimes more. You will need to create 5 indexes as part of this section. So also please look at the details on how indexes should look in the requirement document. Section 8. This most fun section. Here we will we will use our database connectivity module that we covered in class. That would be part of our next class in about 2 weeks. So you can use any technology you want. The goal of this section is to display results of your reports or query executions online. You can use Python with local database, and I have an example of that posted in Canvas. You can use Tableau, which is CloudDB. You can create your own app to display the results, but the goal here is to have a very simple program written in Python or any other language to connect to your created database and execute reports from section 6. So if you want, you can use my example posted in Canvas. I have instructions on how to create your database there. We'll talk a little bit more about troubleshooting in the next lecture. Very important point about the dashboard. Dashboard will take a lot of time, so you will need to start working on your report and dashboard now. As of the end of this lecture, after you get together as a team, one person needs to start working on the dashboard and report his or her progress to the team on Teams weekly meetings. You do not need to wait for this section to have a database ready. You can work with Chinook database. You can work with any database of your choice that we used in this class. You can use Space database, you can use Chinook database, you can use MIS 380 Spring 2025 database. It doesn't really matter. The most difficult part of the reporting dashboard is to get the code running. Database doesn't matter. You can put any database file in the connection string. And we'll talk more about connection string next week when we'll be talking about database connectivity. But again, key takeaway from this slide, please start working on the reporting data dashboard right now. If you guys want to work on that as a group, that's great. If not, one person can work on that dashboard, preferably the person who took Python class or have some kind of basic understanding about the programming, or if you want to develop the reporting dashboard, or it can be a person who is willing to play with Tableau and create Tableau account. So that would work as well. Again, the goal of this section is to display results of your query execution online. And you can look at the sample project report and how it looks. And next lecture, I'm going to show you guys how I wrote my Python application. And again, I never worked with Python. I'm just tried to use this language for displaying very basic reports, and I shared my code with you guys so you guys can use it too. And I also shared instructions on how to get it to work. Uh, please start working on the reporting dashboard as soon as you can. So just like I mentioned before, I posted example of the reporting dashboard using Python online. So in team project module, you can start, if you decide to implement it using Python, you can start using Chinook database as an example. Make sure that you follow all the steps. And once you get Chinook to work, you can just simply replace your database with your connection string with your database name. Again, not very complicated project. You have a code, you can get it to work, and team project module has instructions on how to get it to work. Project management and timeline. Just like any project in real world, I want you guys to get together today as a team, schedule a meeting and talk about how you're going to attack this project. It's up to you how you're going to divide the work. You can all work on each section together. You can split work and work on sections individually. Again, whatever works for different teams. I have no preference for how you guys are going to work, but key takeaway from here, I would like you to have list of tasks and list of deadlines for those tasks. You can use project management tool if you want to. So there's a lot of free project management tools available. You can use Trello. Trello is free. It's a great addition to your resume. Again, very simple. You can just create a simple account and roll with it. That's where you create different tasks and progress them through the progress from new to in progress to done. You don't have to use any project management tools. You can just use a group space in Canvas to talk about your progress. Group space information is only available to me, so I would be happy to help you guys if you have questions. So if you want to use Canvas, you can just tag me and I will be able to respond to any of the messages you have. So when we're talking about team project, it's very important to store your project artifacts somewhere. Those artifacts can be temporary notes, diagrams, scratches, discussion points, draft of business rules. So any work in progress, you guys need to store somewhere. I encourage you guys to store it on Canvas because everyone has access to that, and you can create any discussion board in your team space in Canvas and use that. If you don't want to use this, you can use Google Docs, shared folders. But key takeaway here is to make documents accessible for all team members. So also, once you create your database, make sure you back it up. It's very important. We learn on how to back up database. Make sure that you perform database backups before every major updates. I put this backup database in several slides. I just want to make sure that you guys have multiple copies of the database in different places. Also meet regularly. Well, that's self-explaining. Since it's a team project, you probably need to create a set of meetings and attend them in advance. Can be Zoom meetings, can be in-person meetings. On average, based on my personal experience with the previous classes I taught, in-person meetings work much better than Zoom meetings, but again, it all depends on how you guys prefer to work. Um, every person must have a list of action items before you leave the meeting. So if you are unsure or don't know what is the scope of work required from you up until the next meeting, please clarify it. Make sure that you clearly understand what exactly your responsibilities are. Make sure that each person leaves with list of action items. Meet once or twice a week, whatever works for you guys. Again, I'm not going to control how you meet or where you meet. And also, please allow at least 3 to 5 days to assemble the project. As practice shows, very often students struggle with slapping something together during the very last moment before the deadline, and that's where a lot of teams lose most of the points. So majority of the teams have information. It's just you guys don't allow yourself enough time to put a project together. And I encourage you guys to allow at least 3 to 5 business days for this specific task. Here's a sample team project milestones and timeline. Again, like we're now at week 1, and I expect you guys to start to be done with section 1 and 2 and start working on section 3 and hopefully get it completed by the end of this or beginning of the next week. Next week, I suggest you guys work on logical design, DDLs, DMLs, updates, anything that is related to the actual database creation. On the next week, week 3, I expect you guys to work on SQL queries and indexes. Week 4, that's when I expect you guys to be finishing up section 8, which is reports. Again, given that you start working on the report section now, or one team member can start working on the report section now, you probably will have just a little bit of adjustments to make during week number 4. And the last week, week number 5, I expect you guys to spend time working on assembling the project, making sure that all the issues are resolved. Make sure that you're not missing any information, and also expect you guys to work on peer evaluation. Here's a couple of sample questions for team project. So people ask how to create business rules, look at the class 3 and class 4. how to write team project reports. So report example posted in the project modules, how to create database. I also posted a video on how to create blank database, and there is a video in SQL class on how to create blank database. How to create dashboard. I have steps, just like we talked, posted in team project module. Um, Most likely, you guys will have some minor issues here and there, so you will need to troubleshoot. If you're stuck, ask for help. I might be able to help you. Again, that's only for Python dashboard. If you decide to use Tableau or any other tools, that's up to you. In this case, you don't have to write code. Um, Another question I very often have, can team project presentation can be done over Zoom? No, this is in-person, very informal presentation, about 5 minutes per team. We will sit in very informal environment. You will be presenting to me, not to the class. You don't need to create any presentation for that. We will be just talking about your team project experience, about overall experience, about topics selected, about how you started working on the team projects, and what, if any, issues you had, what was the most difficult part, what went well, what didn't go well. Again, it's very informal discussion. Don't anticipate more than about 5 to 7 minutes per team. Questions, if you have any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Text me, email me. I will be happy to answer your other questions if you have any, now or later. Grading. So how I will be grading the team project. So grading criteria document is posted in Teams module that will tell you exactly how many points each section has, and how many points will be deducted for each potential issues or missing parts that you don't have in your team projects. You must do a peer evaluation as part of your team project submission. For people who don't do team evaluation, you will not be given the grade for final project. So how team peer evaluation and grading works. First of all, you need to create a peer evaluation for each person in your team, including yourself. You will need to give everyone a certain percentage based on their participation in the project. I will calculate the average for each student based on the criteria that you fill out in your team evaluation. In your team peer evaluation. And here is an example. So, for example, team has 4 people, and team has 3 people in this case. And peer evaluation for each person is for one person, say another member give one person 65%, second member gave 90%, and third member 75%. So average student contribution here will be sum of 65, 90, and 95 divided by 3, which is 80%. So say, for example, your team project got a grade of 240 points out of 300 points. And in this case, student's grade will be 200 points multiplied by 80% or 192. So again, team peer evaluations are important. Please work with your teammates. Please be honest in your team project peer evaluation. That is a good skill. You will be doing a lot of peer evaluation during your career, so it's a good time to learn now. Assistance. In general, I provide 3 consultations. So they can be in class, they can be in person, they can be via Zoom. It all depends on time and availability. If you guys need more consultations, you must schedule those in advance because I have 3 classes and closer to the project deadline, it might be difficult um, to schedule consultations if you need one. So usually we talked, students ask assistance on topic selection, on art diagram, and on logical design. And the rest of the project usually goes smooth. Some students ask for help for troubleshooting Python, but again, at this point of time, a lot of troubleshooting can be done using Google. So I will be happy to help you guys, but if your issue is Python issue only, I might not be able to help you to solve it because again, like it all depends whether you followed all the steps, whether your configuration of your machine is the same as mine, and so forth. Um, so again, I'm available for help. Usually 3 consultations is enough, but I can do more if needed. Um, Team project deliverables. As part of this team project, you guys will be required to do 3 things. You will need to attend team project presentation. Again, informal discussion in person going to happen during the last week of classes. Team project report. A team project report is due at the end of the semester, so you can look at the sample project report. And I also have a project report template posted in Canvas. You will also need to upload your .db file to Canvas. And also, you must complete peer evaluation. And that's all you need to complete the project. Team communication, important. We talked about that. So if you miss meetings, please make sure that you follow up and you ask what you need to complete for the next meeting. Team leads, some teams decide to have team leads, others work without leads. Again, it's all up to you. If you want to select a lead, that's great. If not, you don't have to. Make sure that if you have issues with your team, make sure to get to talk to me about those issues early. As early as I know about potential issues with the certain team members, as I will be, as soon I will be able to intervene and help you guys to succeed as a team. Again, if one of the team members or multiple team members are not responding, not attending the team meetings, not participating in team project, please reach out to me. I will find out whether this person is still part of the class or not. Situations happened when team waited till the very last moment only to find out that the person dropped the class. So again, it can be many different scenarios here, but if you have a team member who's not responding, please notify me as early as possible, and I will be able to help you guys as a team. Common mistakes here. So people forget to upload team project evaluation, get 0 for a file for the project grade, get back to me after grades are already posted. So incorrect team project report file. It's very important to follow the file guidelines. You must include your section and your team number in the project name. Again, this way your project is not going to get lost, and you all will remember and know what you're working with. Another common mistake is incorrect peer evaluation file format. So people don't include evaluation on themselves. This is very important. That gives me a good idea on how you assess yourself. And usually self-assessments matches with peer assessments, but there are also outliers. So make sure to include this too. For ERD, people often miss subtypes, supertypes. For logical design, people miss one entity in between a many-to-many relationship that correlates relationship between those entities. Again, we had very similar situation as in your exam, so make sure to include those. Also for logical design, you should not have any relations with no attributes. If you have a relation, you need to have attributes in addition to primary or foreign keys. Incorrect arrows pointing from primary key to foreign key. We remember from logical design class, all arrows must point from foreign key to primary key. And in section 5, multiple issues, missing DDLs, primary keys, foreign keys, stuff like this. Again, those are just common mistakes, but there is much more to that. Pro tips. How do you get max points on the team projects? Again, we already talked about that, so it's kind of repeat of what we already did talk, but make sure to select topics that you know about. Make sure you understand the domain. This way is going to be much easier for you guys to work on a team project. Read and understand the entire requirement document. Spend a good time either individually or as a team, and look at these project documents and make sure that, excuse me, that you understand what exactly need to be done as part of each section. Read and understand project grading criteria. This is also very important. You need to understand where you might potentially lose points. So please look at this document after you review team projects requirements. Please look at project grading criteria and make sure that you know where this document is. Make sure that you understand where some points can be taken off. Use this project grading criteria to create your own checklist so that you will use during the last week to cross out the items that are done and that are not done. Um, this is very difficult, detailed oriented work, but that's exactly what I will be using, those project criteria. That's what I will be using when I will be grading your team projects. So again, please review project grading criteria. Use it as a checklist. See what you're missing. Use it iteratively after you complete each section, so you don't need to do a large amount of work at the end of the project. Um, Also, as a rule of thumb, review each other's work. People tend to make mistakes, so peer code review, peer work review is always great. Again, it's part of every business. People do it in real life, so please make sure to look at each other's work. Also make sure to spend enough time and review your final project submission. Make sure you understand what you're submitting. Make sure you're not missing any sections and any information there. If you do your own project criteria checklist, and if you check every single item out of this list, I guarantee you, you will get max points, because that is the criteria that I will be using as part of my grading. And now fun part. So why do you guys really need to work on team project? Why do you need to work hard on that? Why this project is so important? Well, first of all, Um, when you work on a team project, it allows you to get a real world experience working in teams. And again, like you're in the industry where you will be spending your entire time working with people, for people, and you will have some people working for you at some point. So, the main goal here, the most important goal, in my opinion, is to learn how to work in teams. Teamwork is really difficult. You need to do a lot of compromises, but again, the more you work in teams, the better is for your future. Um, Here, during the team project, you will learn how to apply new skills, and again, all those new skills will be a great addition to your resume. You will be able to add SQLite Studio, potentially Python as a new skill as part of your team project experience. So this project is the actual blueprint uh, for your app, phone app. It can be a business idea, so you can create something out of it in the future. Again, you don't have to, but it can be used this way too. Here's a couple of examples of the resumes that I help students to work on. On the left, you see tools and technology sections added to the resume only based on this team project, but the person, not only based on this team project, but the person had couple of programming languages before, but as part of this team project, they added database and database tools and also Python language. Um, well, the STEAM project experience can be a really good filler for your first resume. For those of you who don't have resumes or need to add more information on the resume, here is on the right, here's an example how much space this STEAM project can take on your resume. Again, that is in addition to all the skills and experience you gain after you complete this team project and in progress or in process of working on a team project as part of your team. And that's the last slide. So I have here I have a sample project description. So that's something that you can add to your resume, and that is an example for eco-friendly transportation initiative. Again, like your project description is probably going to be a different one, but that is to give you an idea of what people add to their resume based on this team project. And that's all I got for you today. I'm open for any questions, but before I let you go, I want to show you the content of the team project s- team project module in Canvas. Let me open Canvas. Canvas. And show you what's actually in the team project. I'm going to go into section one, but you guys have all exact same information in all the three sections I teach. So we're going to use team class one. So let's go down to a team project module, and let's look what's in team projects. Well, first of all is team project requirements document. So let's open the requirements document. It's gonna load up eventually. And at the end of this document, I have the list of, if it will ever load. Okay. So see here in this document you have list all the sections, what's need to be part of it, what's not. So for example, for section 2 you need to have at least 10 business rules. So here in domain selection you need to provide at least 3 advantages of what this project is gonna do. You need to create business case. Um, you need to define business case for that. So in section 3, you will need to create entity relationship diagram, and your diagram must have all of those fun things. One associative entity, one weak entity, one many-to-many, one unary, and so forth. One supertype with two subtypes. Again, you should have at least 10 entities, including subtype and supertypes. In section 4, you create a logical design or relational data model. If you can see this format is a little different from what you guys used to, but this format allows you to make a little more compact database logical design. So if you want, you can use this format. I use this format when I created space database for you guys. Again, arrows show zero from foreign key to primary key. So for example, if we're looking at playlist track, it has track ID, which is a foreign key, and it relates to track ID in tracks table. Section 5 is database implementation. So here you need to create DDLs and DMLs. So you need to have at least 10 rows in each table, and you need to have it's going to be minimum of 100 insert statements, 10 per table. If you have a table, each table must have at least 10 rows. You need to provide all insert statements, and also remember that every table must have a primary key. So if there's no primary key in the table, you will lose points there. Here's a couple more on section 5. So at least one column in each table must have at least one of the following. So you should have default value, not null value, unique key, and one nullable column in each single table you create. In 5.2, you create insert statements, must include all insert statements here. In 5.3, you create update statements, must have 25 update statements. Section 6, reports, 20 reports. So each report must state the problem, must provide screenshot, must create at least 20 reports. In the reports, you must have at least one report for each of those. So one for aggregate function, one for in, not in, one for between, one for and, or, and so forth. So there is a complete list of what reports you must have. And again, it's probably, I think it's total of 16 or 17, but you need to have 20 reports. So you can repeat those if you want, but the goal is to create a total of 20 reports. Indexes, we haven't touched this topic yet, but we will be working on that in a couple of lectures, and requirements for enterprise dashboard. And at the end, just like I promised, a lot of sample topics. So if you can scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, I think I have total of 50. So it's total of 50 sample topics. If you don't want to use your topic, use one of those. What else do I have in team project? I have a sample team project report. So that's a sample report. You can look at this one. It's an example on how your reports must look like. Team project contract, two exactly the same documents in different format. For Mac users ODT, for Windows users doc. This document must be completed this week and uploaded to a team discussion board no later than March 30th. There will be an assignment created for that. A team project report template, you can start from this document, so that's how it looks like. You can start from this document to work on the report, and it just tells you what to put in each section. Again, that's for you guys to fill out the blanks if you want to use it. Next document here is peer evaluation. That's the forms that you will fill out at the end of the team project. Here's a couple of examples. Sample dashboard using Python that has a full directions on how to create the sample dashboard. Um, Video on how to create database and tables. There is more videos in class, in the SQL class on how to create tables and databases in SQL exercises part 1. Um, Grading criteria. Grading criteria is a very important document. I'm going to go through that in little details. So this grading criteria document was created based on team project requirements. So it has every section and it has total for each section. So for example, in section 1, I will need you to have a domain description and I need you to have a business rules in section 2, and that total will be 10 points. In section 2, total is 20 points. So you will get 2 points for each correct business rules. Again, max points for this section is 20. If you create 50 business rules, you will still have 20 points. So create at least 10 if you want, create more if you need more, but you will be only graded based on 10 business rules. If you have 20 business rules and only 10 of them correct, 2 points will be removed, will be um, taken for each incorrect business rules. So create good business rules, look at the class 3 and 4 on how to create good business rules. Conceptual database design, 2 entities, 20 points, 2 per entity. Then associative entity will get 3, weak entity will get 3, and so forth. So total of 50 points. Again, like you get 2 points per entity. If you're missing one entity, if you have 9, I will subtract 2 points. But then in addition to that, to those 20 points, you will get additional 3 points for associative, weak, identifying relationships, and so forth. So that's all you need to have. Again, keep in mind that you must have composite primary key, at least one. You must have a composite attribute. So make sure that you include all of those. Section 4, logical design. So here are the requirements for logical design, total of 50 points. Database implementation, 40 points for DDLs, then 20 points for each update for updates. So it's about 2 per update. Again, here I will subtract some points for different reasons. You can look at those and further down, the same requirements for reports. Reports um, total for this section is 60 points. Indexes and dashboard. As you see, dashboard is not a large part of the team project requirements. So even if you don't do a dashboard and if you do perfect on the rest of the team project, you will still get a grade A for a team project. Um, Let me see, what else do I have here? Um, what else do I have here? How to create database using SQLite. So again, like it's just PDF on of the same how to create database tables. And the last but not least is today's presentation. It's also part of this team project folder. A lot of information here. Key takeaway, please start slow, please schedule meetings and start working on the team project. I'm looking forward to your questions. You all know how to contact me, so please keep your questions coming. I'm looking forward to talking to you about this team projects. That's all I got for today. Thank you for listening and see you guys all in couple of weeks during the team during the SQL exam.